Howdy, compelled unbeliever here. Today we're going to look at Matt Powell's latest lies and his completely unfathomable behavior. In the second part of this video, which this video will be in two parts, we will look at some other issues concerning ethics and morals and so forth in situations like this. It just got real.
Oh, wow.
Now, I will honestly admit, I did not notice this bait and switch kind of thing until about the third time I watched this clip. So what he's going to do is he's going to play a clip of me making a claim that he misrepresents atheists. Then he is going to deny that claim. Once he has denied the claim that he misrepresents atheists, the very first thing he's going to do is strawman the living hell out of me. Which brings us to the second part of this video.
Compelled unbeliever here. Today I'm here to talk about my adventures with the young preacher Matt Powell. As I started to watch his videos, I noticed that he was making arguments, actually putting the words into atheists' mouth, of arguments that atheists just don't make. And frankly, that pissed me off.
That is funny. You know, I guess, you know, a lot, and that's what they always accuse me of, right? So they say, well, you're making arguments that atheists don't make. Well, just for your information, and that was the last video we had on here, you know, for your information, Mr. Compelled Unbeliever, you know, we went through this whole stream here and dealt with arguments that atheists actually make.
Now hang on, because Matt's going to take us on a ride.
And the interesting part of your worldview is you call yourself a compelled unbeliever. What if you said, Matt, what do you like to do? Tell me about yourself. I'm not going to say I'm an unbeliever in something. I'm an unbeliever in fishing. I'm an unbeliever in flying planes. I'm not going to define my life by what I don't like. Atheists like you and like everybody else define yourselves by what you don't like and what you don't believe in.
When I first went on the internet, I thought to myself, why am I an atheist? And it was because I was compelled by the Bible to no longer believe in the Bible. So I thought to myself, if I no longer believe, what does that make me? An unbeliever. Hence, compelled unbeliever. I now present you Exhibit A. I've made this statement very clearly in my outro in almost every video I've made, Matt, and you know this because you watch them.
Just the fact that you would spend time to make a response to me and say all of these wild things that you've said.
What wild things I've said, Matt? You haven't said anything that I said that was wild. In fact, you've lied about everything I've said so far.
Just the fact that you do that shows that you think that God is legitimate enough to come up against.
You advocate for the government to murder homosexuals. I will stand up and speak out against you, not your imaginary fucking God.
Would you argue like this about Santa Claus? Atheists often claim, well, believing in Jesus is like believing in Santa Claus. Well, why are there books being written every day against the existence of Jesus? Why don't they write books against the existence of Santa Claus?
Well, that's very simple, Matt. It's because there are not Santa fundamentalists, people who try to convince the government to murder homosexuals on Santa's behalf. With Jesus, you do just that. That's what makes you dangerous.
Did you do a 3-hour debate with me on the existence of Santa Claus? You wouldn't do it.
To which I responded in video format on my channel the very next day.
Matt Powell said that I would not want to make a debate or do a debate about the existence of Santa Claus, and that is completely wrong. I think it's a wonderful idea.
In that video, I challenged Matt Powell to a debate on Santa Claus, he being the Santa atheist, and I would be the Santa theist. To make it fun, I indicated that I would use his arguments for God to argue for the existence of Santa. Of course, even though I do know that Matt Powell is fully aware of this challenge, he has failed to even acknowledge it. When someone acts out like this, you kind of got to step back, because it isn't religion that causes this lying. It may be a symptom, but it's not necessarily the actual religion that causes lying. In fact, Christianity teaches that you cannot lie. Spiritual narcissism. Simply stated, spiritual narcissism is the unconscious use of spiritual practice, experience, and insight to increase rather than decrease self-importance. The difference between pathological and compulsive liars is thin, but distinct. The intention of pathological liars differs from compulsive liars when their sense of empathy is questioned. Pathological liars demonstrate little care for others and tend to be manipulative in other aspects of their life. One suspects that someone is mentally ill. Is it ethical or moral to constantly call them out? Is it just cruel? I asked myself that. And in most circumstances, I think it would not be moral to just pick on somebody who's mentally ill for whatever reason. In this case, Matt Powell is leading others to believe things that are dangerous. Therefore, it is important, no matter what his mental status is, to continue to call him out. This is Compelled Unbeliever. I no longer believe there is a God.